Hey guys, welcome back to Old Pecan Homestead. Today, I'm just going to be tinkering around with this old vintage Pearson bow. Sorry, the sun's bright right over the top of my head, but mainly the reason I want to mess around with this bow is my dad actually gave me this bow years ago. I never really used it because it was outdated. Now, I did set it up with some finger shooters to do a little bow fishing, and I think I've used it for that before, but that's about the extent of it. It's a Pearson Shadow 100, and most people wouldn't want to go back and hunt with this bow, but this was the first bow that my dad had shot a deer with, as far as archery. So something in me, I lost my dad this spring. Something in me wants to shoot this bow and kill a deer with it. So, and I actually stopped by. See these arrows? This is all I had was orange fletchings, and I stopped by the local archery shop, and I could tell it kind of fired up some old passion for archery that guy had, because I walked in there asking for aluminum arrows, and these were actually brand new aluminum arrows that he had never sold, that he had on the shelf for years. And two of them were already cut to 30 inches, and he cut two more for me, put inserts in them. And they're a little stiff for this bow, but it was only matching 4 aluminum arrows he had. And I kind of like that vintage camo to go with the vintage bow. I think I'm going to try to get a Pearson. I think I'm going to continue to shoot off the shelf on that little flipper rest. Sometimes I'm pretty decent, sometimes I can't hit the broadside of a hay bale. So you see this center right here? I'm going to back up and shoot at it a few times, and then just bring you along shooting it for just a few minutes, make a short video. Eventually these finger shooters are going to go away because they cause you to roll the string a lot, and that's definitely not good for trying to be real accurate. The string needs to be replaced. I'll bring you along, show you how to replace a string on one of these teardrop style bows. If I do think to be ethical with a deer, I will put a rest or one of the brass pin vintage sights on here, but I kind of want to do it bare bones because my dad was a very simple guy. He didn't. It's not that he was against shooting sights and releases. He just didn't see the need to, because he could kill deer shooting fingers and shooting instinctively. And one thing I really want to get better at is shooting instinctively. Now, a little history on me is I did shoot my first 2 deer shooting only fingers and a single pin. So I don't have a problem shooting fingers. The problem I have is usually my elevation. I can usually get my left and right close enough to kill a deer out to maybe 25 or 30 yards. But my up and down, my elevation, I struggle with. I'll usually get 1 or 2 good ones and a couple higher or a couple lower, 1 high, 1 low. So I just need to get better at instinctively shooting in case I want to get drawn out for Army ammunition, McAllister Army ammunition plant or something like that. As of right now, I wouldn't feel comfortable shooting a recurve or a bare bones bow at a deer. So let's get you set up, do a little bit of shooting, make this a short video, but there will be more videos on this bow, and if I actually do go hunting with it, there will be hopefully a video on that. One thing that I have noticed about this bow is there's a lot of vibration in it. I'll probably put some modern limb savers on it. I'll probably just put those little fuzzy kind of green and black fuzzy string silencers on there, or something along those lines. I'm kind of thinking about modifying this for a string stop, because no matter how disciplined I am on rotating my wrist, I can hold it what I feel is pretty good form, and I still slap my wrist, and I may modify this for a string stop. just a couple minor modifications. Nothing that's going to really improve the accuracy of the bow, just the comfortability of it. Hi. I changed, on that last shot, I changed my nocking point. Let's go take a look at it. Not very good. This one was kind of in there. Could have been a gut shot. Not very good. None of those are going to work. Now I know if I get a pin on my bow, I can zero this in easily out to 30 yards. I've done it in the past. But part of me just really wants to do it exactly like my old man did, so I'm going to keep shooting. There's a slightly better group. These two, if this were my heart, these two are definitely kill shots. Of course, it's a lot slower bow. You know, that deer could move and drop and could be a liver shot. This one right here, definitely a kill shot. So, you know, probably I'd call that about 60% right there. Not quite 75, but 60. Let me get one more group, see if I can't tighten that up a little bit more. All right, now this is about a 18-yard shot. I've shot several deer with a bow, and I've honestly never shot over 25 yards at a deer. I put myself in a position to shoot within 25 yards. Usually if there's a shot opportunity over that, it's kind of by accident. Now, that's even, you know, I do that even with my compound bow and release and sights. Although I feel like I could probably take a deer out to 50 pretty safely speaking if I have a properly tuned compound bow with, you know, all the modern stuff, drop away rest, releases, and a nice sight. I'm going to shoot my bow a little bit more for this video. I've been shooting it here for a few days. Still haven't replaced the string or any of those things that I need to do. But I've tried a lot of different nocking points and aiming techniques, and I'm really struggling to find a place where I can nock that arrow and aim off the tip of the arrow like a lot of people suggest. Every time I aim off the tip of the arrow, it seems like I've got to aim about 1 to 2 foot, maybe even 3 foot, depending on where I knock my arrow low to hit where I want to hit, and that just doesn't seem very good or natural. So what I've been trying to do is just draw back, anchor in the same spot, look at my target and just shoot naturally. So let me show you my last group doing that, which was not bad, but is not indicative of all my. So here's my last group. Not a bad group, but could be better. This would be exactly where I'm aiming. So, you know, if the deer's facing left, that could be 2 lung shots. So let me get back and aim at that spot again. I'm going to show you kind of where I'm knocking. This is about how I started shooting. This is how I used to shoot whenever I shot just a pin, but was still shooting fingers and no peep. This is about how I would knock, so it's the most natural way for me to draw, that's for sure. I could stack them in there like that every time. I would definitely, see, I always pull one. But I know what I did there. I turned my wrist. I've actually been shooting for a while this evening, and I don't know why. I still make the same stupid mistake over and over and over. But the first two, I put kind of right in there, just a little bit left. But if I could get all my grouping, let me shoot one more group on camera. Hopefully I can get a good one. So if I could get all my grouping like that, I could figure out how to aim this thing. I would say maybe that was 2 pretty good ones. Maybe I need to mark one whenever it's a flyer and see if I'm got one bad arrow in the group. But I know my form wasn't right on that shot, so it's hard to blame that. Let me shoot one more. I know it's not a real good excuse, but you know, I wish this one would have been more center, because then I could say my group was pretty tight. Because what I did was I aimed high, or I was shooting high, so I corrected aim a little bit lower, but I still ended up throwing a flyer out there. And that's not the same arrow that was a flyer last time. So I wish I had a good excuse like a bad arrow, but I don't think that's the case. Hopefully I could get more groups like that last one I shot. It's a work in progress. A lot of it's a little bit of discipline, because I keep smacking my wrist, and even when I really focus on not turning my wrist in, I still have that effect with this bow. There's a lot of string slop in it or something. So anyways, if you'd like to see this bow when I get the vintage quiver on it, and see some more shooting of it, and see the string change and all that stuff, and hopefully, if everything goes well, see a deer put in the freezer using a 1980s piece of equipment, then please like and subscribe and follow, and remind me. Say, hey, I'm still waiting on that deer video, and motivate me to get out there and do a self-film on a vintage bow kill. Thanks for watching.